Hey, welcome to a demolition renovation episode of Busboy Millionaire. I just want to talk about a couple of things you're going to need if you are going to do a demo yourself. I didn't do this myself. I had help. Um, it was mainly my buddy Brent. He did this room by himself. I started it, and then he just knocked it out. So when you're doing a reno and you got to do a demo, uh, I don't. I'm pretty sure you don't need a permit for that, unless you're tearing down an entire house or the back of a building. When it's something like this and it's just basic kind of cosmetic work, you can go ahead and do it. You're going to need a couple of things though. Before you start, you should one know where your breaker is, your breaker box, fuse box. Know which breakers are the ones that you have to turn off to the rooms you're going to be demoing. So that light switch and that light above, we had to turn it off, and we had to also turn off the where the stove was, turn off that power. So turn off the power to the room you're demoing, and also turn off the water. Have a plumber come in and have them cap off the pipes, because that's where the kitchen sink was, and we're doing the bathroom too, so we capped off the pipes there. So know where your breakers are, turn them off. Turn off your water before you touch anything, so that'll be out of the way. Then you don't have to stop in the middle of the demo and then get a plumber in. So that's probably one of the first things you're going to do. Agree on what you're going to tear out and how far you're going to go. Like I didn't want to take out that wall, but after talking to my friend Brent, he said no, there's no insulation there. We should take it out so we can put new insulation, because that's an exterior wall as well as that wall. So we took everything down to the studs. Can't see the ceiling, but the ceiling, I can show it to you. The ceiling's a bit of a drop ceiling. There was some things up there, so we took all that stuff down. And now, when you're doing this, after you planned out what you're going to take down for sure, you're going to need a couple of things besides, obviously, have some good safety goggles. There's no two ways about it. You're going to get something in your eye if you don't wear this stuff. Also have masks. This time it's not for COVID. It's because the dust is killer when you're doing this sort of stuff. But the problem is when you've got a mask and you've got this stuff, it fogs up. I don't have the other mask here. There's a really cool industrial one with all the things on the side. Those are really good. We use those too. And they're preferred to use. Get good gloves. These are crappy gloves. They're the cheapest ones you can buy, but they're cheap. But if you're just hauling garbage and stuff, use these cheapo ones. But get good ones, like this type, because all that lath stuff, all the splinters will go through these gloves in a heartbeat, and you're going to get a splinter. And there's nothing more annoying than a splinter to mess you up. Tiniest little thing is going to mess you up because you got to use your hands to get in there and tear stuff down. So get the good gloves. These gloves have leather on them, and they'll stop splinters and stuff going through. But you're gonna need them. And good work gloves are $10-15, and you're always gonna have them. I just have a bunch of these gloves hanging around for doing dirty work, and just throw them in the wash afterwards. And when my kids are helping me out, I make sure they have these gloves. Also, wear good boots. Right now, wear work boots. I'm wearing some old winter boots because they have a solid sole. But the first day I was wearing my running shoes, which was just because I was just starting out. You don't want to get a nail. There's going to be nails all over the place, so you don't want to get a nail in your foot. These aren't iron-plated soles or steel toe. I know that, but they're good enough for what I have to do, but you should, if you have them, if you've got construction boots, use them or invest in a pair. If you're going to be doing this and investing in real estate and stuff and going on sites, invest in a pair. Like a nail in the foot ain't pretty. I haven't, luckily, knocking on wood, I've never had a nail in my foot. So you got your goggles, you got your gloves, you got your mask, you got your boots. Also, you're going to make sure you want to have all the right tools kicking around. So I've got a variety of crowbars. This is the Big Bertha. It's little sister. This is the mini one, mini crowbar. So you don't need 3 crowbars. Like, I've just collected this stuff over the years just because we just do so much work. Hammer, a bunch of screwdrivers, or your like a drill that you can use to unscrew things like fixtures and stuff like that that are going to be popping up. Have that. Also, you gotta have one of these sawzalls. This stuff will rip through anything, and just like when things are stuck and you can't get them moving, you just have to like just tear it apart. Like the counter that was there, I quickly got rid of it. It wasn't moving. I just had to like start tearing it apart. So these bad boys are forever handy. Make sure you get the right blade, an all-purpose blade on it. It's a good investment. Now, I think some of these come in cordless. You need the power. Like, get the corded version of this sort of stuff. There's also this kind of stuff for tile. These are really good if you want to rip through tile quickly. But you don't really need it, but it's a good thing to have. And of course, have a shovel around, because all this stuff, when it comes down, you're gonna have to put it into garbage bags or garbage bins, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And you need a really heavy, big ass sledgehammer, which I don't know where it went. It's also good to have a workshop vacuum to get up all the dust and crap later. So one of these, you can get them anywhere, Home Depot, Canadian Tire. There's different sizes. Make sure it's wet dry. This is an old one we've had for a few years. Okay, and once you start ripping, you're going to get a ton of garbage. So you're going to need garbage bags. The industrial ones, look for the rating, how thick it is. This is 4 mil. That's usually pretty good. You don't need anything super heavy like woven bags. These garbage bags are good. And when you do get them and you start filling them, you probably are going to need some ties. Use these ties to tie them up because they're very thick. Those bags are thick. They're not like regular garbage bags that you can easily tie because they're very pliable. Because they're so thick to hold Reno stuff, it's hard to tie. So get a bag of these ties and then you tie it up. So that's for garbage bags. And then you're going to want some buckets. Have some buckets around to haul stuff up and down and throw garbage in. But the other big thing you want to have for garbage are these bins like this. These old garbage bins, now that we don't have to use them for garbage, if you've got any of these lying around your garage, pull them out because you can put all your lats and stuff in them. So, take this one out. So this gets filled with the lats. See it here. Right? So you fill this up with all the lats that come down, and then this is what you can take outside, easy to haul it outside and to put it in your bin, which we'll talk about later. So that for the lats, the buckets, shovel, have a broom around, because you're going to have to sweep up all this stuff. And clean up as you go. Like at the end of the day, like just clean it up. It just gets in your way. Stop and sweep up and take a break and sweep up as much as you can and then go back at it. So don't leave it all to the end because everything piles up and you can't even walk around. You can't see what's on the ground. So it could get dangerous that way too. And then let me show you the amount of stuff that we have.